Hello, and welcome to Subtle Energy Essentials for Holistic Clinicians, where we'll explore the practical and essential nature of subtle energy within the psychotherapeutic container. So, have you ever felt your client's unspoken experience before they articulated it? Have you ever sensed an emotional truth your client wasn't yet naming simply by feeling the energy present? Have you ever felt a heaviness, contraction, or pull in your body that revealed more than your client was verbalizing? Well, if you're here, you likely can relate to these experiences. And I'm wondering, what did you do when you noticed the subtle field? How did you honor what you were sensing? Subtle energy is the non-physical life force that flows through and around us, carrying the imprints of thoughts, emotions, spirit, and guiding the deeper intelligence of healing. Within the therapeutic space, subtle energy acts as the golden thread that weaves mind, body, emotions, and spirit into a unified field of experience. Hi, I'm Harmony Kwiker, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself to you. I'm a psychotherapist. I've been practicing since 2007. I'm a visiting instructor at Naropa University, where I teach Gestalt therapy in the mindfulness-based transpersonal counseling program. I'm an approved clinical supervisor, and I'm an author of 4 books, most notably The Awakened Therapist, Spirituality, Consciousness, and Subtle Energy in Gestalt Therapy. And I'm the founder of the Institute for Spiritual Alignment, where we offer ongoing learning opportunities for holistic clinicians and healers who are passionate about continuing to awaken transformation in themselves, in their clients, and the world. So, my sensitivity to the subtle realm began really early. Around the age of 6, my mom asked me if I wanted to have my own meditation practice, and I said yes. And I was initiated into transcendental meditation. And my mom was a breath worker, and she also asked me if I wanted to try it. And I said yes. I was eager to learn. And I was really, really surprised by the transmissions and sensitivities that I cultivated through these experiences. These practices really opened up a doorway in me, one that attuned my awareness to the energetic dimension of experience long before I had the language for it. So, why do we ignore subtle energy? Most people grow up in environments that privilege logic over intuition. Energetic sensitivity is often dismissed, pathologized, or ridiculed. Turning away really becomes a protective adaptation. Subtle awareness often brings forward emotions or sensations that a person has learned to suppress. So when we attune to our client's subtle energy, we're actually attuning to something that they've learned to suppress. And when capacity is low, turning away feels safer than staying with what arises. And people retreat to cognition because it feels predictable, familiar, and within their control. So essentially, it feels safer to ignore subtle energy. Though intangible, subtle energy can be felt, sensed, and perceived through shifts in vibration, flow, density, and resonance. In the therapeutic space, awareness of subtle energy allows us, the clinician, to track what is emerging beyond words, engaging the deeper intelligence that guides healing and transformation. So, really, subtle energy is what allows the implicit holding patterns and movements of our clients to be seen in the light of awareness. And so, in this approach, we're really wanting to welcome everything into the light of awareness. So, when we attune to our client's subtle energy, essentially what we're saying to them is, I see you as you are, and I welcome you as you are. And really, it's I see you as you actually are, and I welcome you as you actually are, not just how you report yourself to be. So, why does subtle energy matter? Subtle energy reveals the unspoken. It offers access to what lies beneath words and conscious awareness, such as unresolved emotions, hidden beliefs, and unconscious patterns. It guides the therapeutic process. So, tracking shifts in subtle energy can point to the client's readiness, resistance, or emerging insight, helping us to follow the natural flow of healing. So, this is a really nonviolent approach to psychotherapy where we're honoring and following our client's energy as the guide to their transformation. Subtle energy supports regulation and safety. Attuning to subtle energy allows the therapist to co-regulate with the client, creating a grounded, coherent field that fosters trust. Subtle energy also facilitates deeper transformation. Engaging with subtle energy invites integration at the root level of the client's being in all the places that they've been mistuned by life. So the neurobiology of subtle energy is really helpful to understand. So neuroception is the way that our nervous system is designed to sense what the mind cannot yet name. It's the unconscious detector of what is present. So neuroception continuously scans for safety, danger, and resonance. It picks up micro shifts in tone, posture, breath, and field, and it responds to energetic cues long before conscious awareness. So neuroception is really what's allowing us to sense the subtle field. And the vagus nerve also plays an important part of this. It's the bridge between physiology and subtle energy. The vagus nerve carries signals of openness, contraction, connection, and threat. When regulated, it allows us to perceive subtle relational shifts. When dysregulated, subtle sensing shuts down to conserve safety. So the right hemisphere of the brain is our intuitive relational processor, and this tracks facial expressions and intention and energetic tone. It processes experience holistically rather than analytically, and it reads the felt sense of the room in microseconds. So the neurobiology of subtle energy also holds these concepts of interoception and proprioception, which are both ways that the body has this inner listening and this inner wisdom to what is present. The interoception and proprioception give us access to sensation, impulse, and energetic coherence. It allows us to feel what's rising before it becomes a story. And then there's this concept of awake awareness and neural integration, which is shifting states of consciousness, creating change within awareness. When the mind and body settle, spacious awareness become available, and integration allows us to hold subtle experience without overwhelm. Subtle energy is perceived through the body first, long before the mind interprets it. Giving language to the subtle is how we honor the body's innate wisdom. So how do we honor the subtle realm in psychotherapy? It's really through attunement. Attunement is the capacity to sense, feel, and accurately reflect the client's present moment experience beyond their narrative. As we attune, we also stay deeply connected to our own embodied awareness through our own interoceptive awareness. So one way that we can attune is simply by attuning to the client's mind. So as they're sharing their meaning making, we might reflect the essence of their narrative, the energy of their thought. We can accurately see the hyper-identified self, the client's inner map, the way they move internally and as they relate to the world, and also their unconscious beliefs. We can also attune to physical movements such as posture, facial expressions, hand gestures, eye movement, breathing patterns. Breathing patterns is such an important thing to attune to. Even just asking what you notice in your breath can be very helpful. Attunement to the emotional. We might notice their tears, agitation. They seem self-protected or defended, or if they seem open, relieved. They seem heavy or tender, frustrated, scared, lost. All of these things, when attuned to accurately, the client feels more welcome when we give voice to this. You seem lost right now. What do you notice about yourself? You seem defended. What do you notice about yourself? So we're not working around what's in the implicit field. We're holding it in the light of awareness and welcoming every aspect of what is present, including disowned emotions. We might attune to the subtle. So emotional energy pollution, or EEP, is the language for psychic dirt or unfinished business that's living in the energy body. And so we might give language to that. Energetic holding patterns of a client's crying and they're capping it off in their throat, we might give language to that. energetic movements like a turning away or recoiling or something else, energetic longing, energetic collapse, and where they're energetically seated. We might say, you seem more seated in yourself right now. What do you notice? Energetically solid. We might give language to that as well. Or when there's a big release, it seems like something's moved. What do you notice? And so we're just giving language to these subtle emotional experiences, including clarity. We might say, if there seems to be a lot of clarity up here, we might give language to that as well. So giving words to what you're sensing or seeing is really, really powerful. And one thing to consider is to have your words be inarguable. And this is why I use the language of it seems like or you seem, because I'm just honoring that from my seat, this is how it seems to me. And this is where attunement can be really honoring of me and them, because I want to know if what I'm seeing matches what they're experiencing. So naming subtle energy in the room can feel like a therapeutic risk because it really asks us to trust our embodied knowing, speak from presence, and stay aligned with client sovereignty. Instead of interpreting, we simply reflect what we're sensing. So this is really important. We're not digging, we're not interpreting what we're seeing, we're just giving what we're seeing a name. So you seem a little farther away right now. It seems like something just shifted. I'm noticing a sense of heaviness here. What do you notice? As you said that, it seemed like your energy pulled back. What do you notice about yourself? And so you can see here, I'm giving voice to what I see, and I'm asking the client what they notice. This is a collaborative process of attuning to subtle energy. You seem to be bracing against your emotions as you talk. What do you notice? Offering language for the subtle really invites clients into direct experience without imposing meaning or violating their sovereignty. Subtle attunement is very much an act of co-regulation. So when we name the subtle, we offer the client our regulated nervous system as a reference point, and this is the essence of co-regulation, and this is how it works neurobiologically. The ventral vagus nerve reads cues of safety through presence, tone, and energetic coherence. When we are grounded and attuned, the client's vagus nerve receives a signal. It's safe to come into connection. When we ignore what we're seeing or sensing, we create an incoherence in the field that actually compromises safety. Subtle energetic attunement becomes the entry point for shifting from sympathetic charge or dorsal collapse. And subtle attunement also helps the clients regulate. So when we attune to subtle signs of dysregulation, we help clients stay connected to themselves rather than overwhelmed by their state. And remember that regulating the nervous system is really about staying connected to ourselves. And it's not about suppressing or changing what we're feeling. It's about staying connected to ourselves in moments of arousal. And this is what we're inviting our clients to do. So, how subtle sensing supports regulation. We perceive micro shifts such as a collapse, charge, numbness, withdrawal, often before the client even names them. Reflecting these shifts without interpretation brings the client back into contact with their own experience. This awareness strengthens interoception, which is foundational for self-regulation. It's their ability to sense and see what is happening within themselves, and that's essential for being able to stay connected to themselves and respond internally to moments of nervous system arousal. And so, why this matters for our nervous system. So, subtle sensations often mirror vagal states. So, a heaviness in the body can be a dorsal vagal state. Urgency or charge can be a sympathetic state. Openness and grounding is ventral vagal state. So when clients recognize these sensations, their system can reorganize towards safety and coherence. And regulation is really supported first by attunement, but then by responsivity. And so I really do like to ask clients once they're aware of that let's just say heaviness in their body, I might ask them, is there anything that this heaviness needs from you right now? Because that's encouraging them to be responsive to what they're sensing within. Subtle attunement really becomes a pathway from dysregulation to awareness to self-connection to nervous system repair. And so this is the model of holistic psychotherapy that is the awakened therapist approach. And I just wanted to show you this here. You can see the outer circle is a collaboration between the therapist's awake awareness and the client's awake awareness. And this outer circle creates the therapeutic container. And within that therapeutic container, we have our client's innate spirituality, their subtle energy, their psychology, their personality patterns, their conditioned patterns, their shadow, what they've rejected or disowned in themselves, their unfinished business, everything that's unresolved from the past that they're holding within themselves now, their emotions, their emotional body, and also their somatic intelligence. And here in the middle, this is the golden thread of interconnectedness, that subtle energy is connecting all of these. And so we're not separating our clients into detached parts. We're really honoring the wholeness of the client within one therapeutic container. So therapy is really a sacred encounter where two beings meet in truth. And within this space, subtle energy becomes a quiet guide revealing what words alone cannot express. And so what's next? I want to invite you to check out the Awakened Therapist Level 1 training. It's transpersonal and holistic psychotherapy rooted in Gestalt therapy. The training is 6 months of live and asynchronous learning that's 100% online. We begin in March of 2026 and we go until August of 2026. The live sessions happen on the first Friday of each month from 10 to 12 Mountain Time. There's a combination of lectures, demos, practices, and discussions, connection, and a really beautiful community of like-hearted therapists. All live classes are recorded, so you can rewatch as many times as you'd like. And asynchronous learning with recorded webinars are held in our online classroom, and this training is worth 12 NBCC credit hours. So in the training, you'll learn energetic coherence, how to become a clear, grounded, and attuned presence in every session. You'll learn more about awake awareness, which is the capacity to perceive from beyond ordinary consciousness. You'll learn subtle energy literacy, sensing the unspoken layers of a client's experience with accuracy and care. And you'll learn somatic attunement, tracking the body's truth as the entry point to deeper healing. And this is really a sovereign-centered therapy, supporting change that arises from within the client, never imposed by the therapist. It's a moment-to-moment clinical intuition where we allow the field, not the story, to guide timing and intervention. So right now we have a 20% off code. Awake 20 will get you 20% off enrollment.